This is the May 14th, 2025 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by dialing 1-408-650-3123 and then entering access code 942-845-549. Or you can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942
We cannot hear you on our end.
845-549. And who was that?
Ricky.
Ricky.
This is Ricky. We can hear you now. Who's muted?
Okay, very good. So the materials for tonight's meeting have been provided to the commissioners. They're available on the town's website. Public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the commission. Before we start, let me do a roll call of our members. So when I call your name, please answer in the affirmative. Megan Langley,
Here.
Michelle Koros,
Here.
Chris Carey,
Here.
Mark Sclammo,
Here.
Ricky Arizmi.
Here.
All right, we have a full house tonight. Tom Fallon.
Here.
All right. So if any of you are going, we have a full house tonight. So if any of you want to speak this evening, there's a sign-in sheet next to Mr. Fallon. You'll need to sign it. Please note the meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. And without further ado, the first matter on our agenda for tonight is the application of Gio Nardella, a request for determination of applicability to build an addition to a single-family home and remove an existing garage at 5 Friedel Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed to vote.
Aye.
Is anyone here on behalf of Nardella? Mr. Nardella,
Yes.
please come on up. Don't be shy. Why don't you sit right there? You have certified mail receipts.
I do.
You can give those to Mr. Fallon.
And I have this one too. I don't know this.
Okay, so tell us what you'd like to do, sir.
We're looking to put like a approximately 36 by 30 addition on the side opposite the river.
Okay.
Yeah, and that addition's gonna have a kitchen, living room, dining room, and half bath, and a garage.
Did you, excuse me, did you measure the distance to the river from the proposed work?
I did not.
Okay. Are you within 100 feet of the river?
Yes.
Okay. So your addition, you're going to be building a new or digging a new foundation for it?
Yes.
And how do you propose? We'll strike that. What types of erosion control measures do you propose to install?
We're gonna do a silt fence. So behind the house, there's like a hill that goes down to the river.
Okay.
So we can put a silt fence with some hay bales in there.
At the top of the slope?
Yeah.
Okay. What we'd like to do, sir, is we like to take a look ourselves. I mean, you've given us the diagram of the proposed construction and a picture of your house and sort of an overview of where it's located, but we always like to take a look. So with your permission, sir, we'll do that in the next 2 weeks if you would agree to continue the public hearing to May 28th. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. See? Easy, isn't it?
Do I need to come back here on the 28th?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think at that point it'll be a 5-minute hearing.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So is there a motion to continue the public hearing for Mr. Nardella to 5/28 at 7 p.m.?
Motion to
continue to May 28th.
Okay. At 7 p.m. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right, sir. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll get out there and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
The next matter on our agenda is a 7:05 public hearing. Luis Guzman, request for determination of applicability to renovate a single-family home at 9 William Street. Is there a motion open?
I'll move to open.
Okay, who, will there be a second?
Just trying to move things along.
I understand. Second. All right, so, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote.
Aye.
Mr. Guzman or his representative, are they here?
Yes.
Please, come on up.
Good evening.
Okay. So, tell us what you want to do.
What we got planned to do there is excavate. We have to actually fix and put it on hold. What is this? I think the 4 feet. We're gonna have to excavate at least 4 feet around the foundation
Okay.
and repair it.
So are you actually doing an addition or just renovating the existing house?
Just we're gonna renovate it.
Okay. How far are you from any wetlands? Did you measure?
No, I actually didn't measure.
You didn't measure? Okay. But you must have thought you were subject to our jurisdiction because you filed this, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you probably heard what I told Mr. Nardella. We'd like to go out, take a look in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So would you agree to continue the public hearing to May 28th?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Is there a motion to that effect, please?
Move to continue the applicant 9 William Street to 7:05 on the 28th of May.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just have a question. Where is the closest wetland? Because I didn't see anything
I didn't
on the
either, and that's one of the reasons we want to go out there.
Okay.
Okay? All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Ricky?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? It's a vote. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. We're moving along here.
You can bring a tape measure on that one?
I will.
Okay.
I'm not sure when mine go. We have a few minutes before our 7:10 public hearing. Why don't we review the meeting minutes for April 23rd? On the page, it'd be page 3, I'm sorry, would actually be the back of page 2, so it'd be page 4. It's near the bottom where Megan suggested the motion issue the fine. It should be 15,000, not 15,800. It's just a typo. And aside from that, I have no other changes to the meeting minutes for April 23rd.
Mike, I think I did suggest to make 15,800.
You did?
I did, and then you suggested 15,000, and then below that it says, then we discussed it, and then I made the motion to issue in 15,000. I revised.
Now that you said that, I think you're right, so my apologies for that. Okay,
No problem.
in that case, any changes, Michelle? All right. In that case, is there a motion to accept the meeting minutes of Wednesday, April 23, 2025?
I say we, yeah, the
Okay.
meeting minutes are good.
All right, is there a second? Second.
I second.
All right. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Chris abstains. All right, it's a vote. All right. The next matter on our agenda is a 710 public hearing, Eastland Partners, a notice of intent to construct a pad-ready site at 50 Washington Street. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Good evening.
Good evening. I have an easel if it would be easier for the.
Sure.
Okay, I'll just put that right here. Sometimes it's never sure. Here, fine, or?
I think over there is fine.
I don't mind.
Maybe there so that other people in the audience can see it.
I'll move that, might be bad.
I know be enough room for these.
Yeah, that's all right.
And what I'll need
This is probably
on the board is,
a no, but would there be any way for us to get a close enough of this easel?
I'm sorry, Ricky, I didn't understand
Get
you.
closer to him to see that.
Can you see that?
No,
Oh, okay.
for reference, these are the
but it's okay.
plans, for, that have been provided to the town that are on their website.
Okay.
I just added a little color so we could easily identify them for presentation wise.
So Rick, if you go to the website, you can, if you have access to that, it'll be available at our site under documents.
Copy that.
Okay. And can you identify yourself for the record, please?
Yes, for the record, is James Bernardino with Turning Point Engineering, representing the applicant this evening, which is in theory Eastland Partners, but they're filing under the applicant and the owner, which is 190 Washington, geez, what is
Street.
Washington Auburn LLC. You got a few of them, so I just want to make sure I get
All right,
that correct.
Sure, of course.
For the record as well. So we're looking at their parcel, 50 Washington Street. Parcel, let me just get a few minutes right here. It's just under 30 acres, you know, identified in the dark black over here. Presently, it's undeveloped. If you recall, maybe a couple of years ago, Eastland was in front of the commission for the road widening in this area down here for some work along the area here. They've provided some clearing for the site, but that work hasn't commenced yet, but will be once DOT has finalized their review and approval. So with that said, obviously we have just under 30 acres. We had DNC consultants review the property back in 2021, in which they delineated the wetlands, as well as identified a perennial intermittent stream, located in the dark blue here. This is actually the beginning of the intermittent stream. There's two courses coming into it. So Stream Stats is identified. The location here is the starting of it, and we have 1 through 24 closest side in Hyatt Bank delineated on the plan. 100-foot riparian zone, 200-foot riparian zone, highlighted in pink. Again, BVW. In orange is the 100-foot buffer. We also do show the 25 and 50 local buffers on the plan as well, but I just didn't highlight those to try to keep it a little simple for presentation purposes. Now, the proposal for this, I'll flip over the page in a moment, is basically to prepare a pad-ready site. Basically, there's no end use being proposed, but what they're looking to do is conduct activities to clear the remaining areas and bring in fill that will allow a pad grade to be established, as well as stormwater to accommodate a potential future development. With that said, I'll turn the page. All right, so same resource areas being identified: riverfront in pink, river area in blue. Green, obviously, is the BVW. Being proposed is we're going to import approximately 82,000 yards of material. It's actually locally sourced from the development that was in the back. The material is located next door at 190 Washington Street. So up in the front, we've had a pad-ready site that was developed back a handful of years ago, not too many years ago. But since working with the DOT, they're asking us to, well, they required us to have, this is 190 here, have our entrance to the site off of the roadway that's being constructed. As you're aware, the roadway drops off to the back. So they actually have excess material that they're gonna bring down to accommodate that. So we're anticipating the material to be coming here, to be placed in, on the site, and ultimately end treatment will just be a grassed surface. We have prepared a comprehensive stormwater analysis that accompanied the development. We assumed a 70% impervious area that's being collected and discharging to the basin. So in the future, we have already addressed water quality considerations for future development of up to 70%. The basin, the pre-treatment has all been designed in accordance with the local regulations, which do address phosphorus removal and the additional TSS removal, which both gets addressed by maintaining and holding back a minimum of a 1 inch of water for the storms. So obviously that design's an overkill for what's there, but with the understanding that, you know, we are, hopefully we'll have a successful future project, we would hopefully have something in the design that wouldn't have to be impacted in the future. So for long story short, the area that is being constructed all stays outside of the 25-foot impact zone. We are coaching relatively close to the 25-foot zone through this area here. Likewise, through the area down here. The orange is our erosion sediment control barrier, which is going to be a traditional silt fence and a straw wattle. However, on our erosion control plan, we do have some of the steeper slopes that are close in proximity to that 25-foot no disturb zone. We added an additional protection of a mulch berm. So what, you know, Eastland Partners likes to do during construction, utilize the materials on the site. They'll end up shredding the bark mulch and using that in their erosion controls throughout the project. So basically everything is fed by gravity through a drainage channel through here with check dams and appropriate separations. We've done temporary erosion controls, forebays and silt, forebays and sediment traps as well, to additional, you know, to address potential load sediment runoff during construction. Then we've also provided with our stormwater, comprehensive stormwater pollution prevention plan, long-term operation maintenance plans. Now, this is just going to be for the site impacts. Obviously, if there's any future development, say a commercial building or an office building or whatever, obviously that would be within the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission, so we would have to come back again. We fully anticipate that once an end user is established, those plans would be a little easier to develop with, you know, some infrastructure that's on place. Future development would obviously have the underground infrastructure, catch basins, manholes, and things of that nature once we introduce impervious surfaces. I won't go through each bullet point, but the notice of intent did have a comprehensive outline of how we meet the performance standards of bank, riverfront, as well as BBW. There's probably a few numbers that you guys would like to know. And that is basically we have approximately 6.5 acres of land disturbance. That's total on the site, of which about 114, so under 3 acres of that is in the buffer zones. So from 0 to 100. We have approximately 506,800, give or take, square feet of riverfront area on the site, which includes all the area between the river and the front and the purple around. And we are proposing to alter 9% of that total area with providing a 0 to 100, no alteration of the riverfront, and that 9% within the 100 to 200 foot riverfront. So we're underneath the thresholds of that 10% maximum limitation. We did provide an alternatives analysis, so I can go through that if there's questions on it, but, you know, basically, we've been looking at the property for a while, so there's some alternatives that have been
Well,
considered.
but you're not applying for a waiver, or are you?
A waiver?
Waiver for, well, you just told us you're not building or doing any work within the 25-foot no-build zone. Right.
Correct.
So in that case, you would not be requesting a waiver from us
No, yeah.
to waive, okay, all right.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
we're not requesting any waivers, so all of the local regulations are met. The additional stormwater treatment. We have also filed with the engineering department a land disturbance permit.
Okay,
So they have accepted that, and they've given me a 30-day window for their general review performance, and they're maybe a week or two into that already.
understood.
So that's moving forward as well. You know, so with that said, that's where we are, and, you know, open to have any questions from the board or the commission, if you have any.
Well, we're familiar with the site. Go ahead, Tom.
Through the chair, just for a point of procedure, I don't believe anybody made a motion to open this hearing,
I thought we did.
did we?
Yeah, we
Okay,
did.
all right, I'm sorry, I didn't, all right, I wrote it down on the wrong one. I see.
Just now.
Thank you, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah. So,
It's just because I didn't do it.
There you go. That's right.
now I lost my train of thought. So we're familiar with the site,
site,
as you know,
yes.
because although we're familiar mostly with the back of the site as opposed to the front of the site. And given the fact that you're in the review stage with the town engineer anyway, and you heard my spiel before, we always like to take a look. So with your permission, we'll go out there, we'll look around,
Mhm.
and if you were agreeable to continue the public hearing for 2 weeks to May 28th.
Yep, we're amenable to that. We don't have
Through
a
the
EP
chair.
number yet.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure, of course.
Yeah. So where is the fill coming from that you're gonna move? And is that going to be tested? I mean,
It's clean material, which was actually native material that was used in the development of the back of the
Okay.
site. This is the roadway that leads into the back. So this bit lot that's right up on Route 20 in the front, that's where the material will be coming from.
okay,
So when you go in that road, if you happen to do a site visit over the week or over the weekend, you come in that road, you drop down and the site's flat up top.
okay,
DOT has since told us, hey guys, come in over here.
okay.
Right.
We made all this effort to make it fly with the road, so we gotta take that down a little bit.
And how many cubic yards are you going to be pushing over to that site?
We're estimating about 82,000.
How many truckloads is that?
It's a lot.
I know it's a lot.
It's a lot, so just divide it 20.
How many yards a truck?
How many yards a truck? 20. Well, we're gonna be using our rock trucks. So we're gonna be using heavy equipment that's getting probably 20, 30 yards a dump.
It's gonna take you weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be weeks of back and forth. So
Sure.
it's definitely an operation that's going to happen, and that's one of the reasons why we're coming in for a pad ready site, because the Eastland has been looking for reasonable people to come in. There's been interest, but a lot of people don't want to undertake that.
The site prep?
In the site prep, and some of them can't visualize the site prep because of that. And as a result, I think Eastland lost a couple of good opportunities. So that they're just, now that they have the opportunity, well, they're turning a bad thing into an opportunity to kind of move forward with,
Sure.
making both properties a little bit better. There is an active order of conditions over here, so this is still appropriate, even though it was a number of years ago. The governor gave us an extension, so I think that's good through like November of this year. Once we find out schedules, if this moves forward successfully, we'll find out, if
Sure.
we do need to ask for an extension, we'll ask for an extension on the
Okay.
other side.
Okay.
But everything's in place except for what we're looking to.
And when would you propose to start? Sometime this summer?
Sometime this summer, yes.
Okay. Any questions from the board? I'll get to the public in a second.
Just one more. That's nowhere near where that beaver dam was, right?
It's on the other side.
It is on the other
In the
side.
back.
I'm tackling that.
Yeah, if I had the larger scale, it's
It's way in the back over
Way in
there.
the
Okay.
Okay.
it's a big site. It's understandable with a lot of nooks and crannies.
Oh, yeah. Megan, any questions?
No questions for me.
Okay, Ricky, any questions?
No questions for me.
Okay. I'll turn it over to the audience. Can you identify yourself, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Doreen Goodrich, 5 Lower Windbrook Drive, a direct abutter.
Okay.
So, I made a couple notes, and I'm sure we'll be attending planning board meetings as well. I'm unsure what, it's gonna fall under your purview. So I'm just gonna make a couple comments. Number one, I'm glad you're going to visit the site. I'm here with some of my neighbors. I don't know if any of them are gonna speak, but, one of our biggest concerns is water runoff, erosion. I mean, bringing that much fill in. You've already got the wetlands behind there, as you know, they donated the portion of the land to the town when they bought the property because it was unusable wetlands. We've got the diversion tunnel there that runs like a waterfall. So our concern is the water that's running from the new developments across the street, from the car dealerships, now coming this way. Their site is higher, we're like, they're the kings up here, and we're way down here. We have modest properties. We could not handle significant flooding issues.
Okay.
There are trees that are falling in that property because it's so wet down there. So we just really would appreciate looking at the entire impact of the water.
Well, we always do,
on the pro-
so.
No, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak, but if no one was here, you wouldn't hear our voice, so we appreciate the opportunity
Okay.
to have our voice heard. We've had some contentious meetings. The issue with the encroachment still isn't resolved.
Okay.
So I appreciate you doing the site visit.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Bernadino, do you want to address those concerns?
Yeah, from the stormwater concerns, obviously we've developed a comprehensive stormwater evaluation that would mitigate, future impacts, not only for the pad-ready site, but even future impacts should they be paved in the future. To a certain extent, that would have to be evaluated later on. Those are all standard evaluations that have been put forth by the state, as well as local has their own stormwater bylaws and regulations, so we've filed the appropriate permits with conservation as well as the DPW for land disturbance permits. So all of the calculations have been performed to demonstrate us mitigating appropriately the impacts that could potentially be result from stormwater issues. Those are all getting under review. They're pretty straightforward. We've worked with the town many times, so we have an understanding of what the expectations are. So we're confident what we'll put forth is going to be darn close to what's going to be final, pending town review and input.
And to address your point as well, so DEP also gets a copy of all the materials, and they do their own review, and they will submit their comments to us. They're actually very good about doing that. So I think to your concerns with respect to if there's a need for further mitigation, I'm sure that'll be addressed. So, and any other comments from the public? Yes, ma'am,
My name is Judy Triani Dinas, and I live in Winbrook Acres.
Okay,
She's my neighbor, and I wanted to mention the trees that she mentioned,
okay,
because right behind me, I have a couple of trees that fell, and it almost comes into me, but they got hung up in other trees.
okay,
So, I don't know, we can't go in there and take them down, it's not our land, But thank God that some of these big trees have got hung up in other trees. So
okay.
there's a lot of dead trees there that are all, I'm flooded with that when it rains.
Okay, well, it seems that might be an issue for the DPW to maybe address. I don't know if you've reached out to them. We can certainly,
Do they actually own that land now?
well, when you say the land, I'm not sure which land you're talking about
Well, it's the
specifically.
land they donated that's behind me.
So,
It's all dead trees that are just hung in other trees.
well, I think maybe when we take a look, we can also maybe take a look at your property too.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, I'm up high, a little higher, so I got the brook there.
Uh-huh,
But further over where the big trees are there, as a matter of fact, one just fell the other day and it hung up in another. But there's quite a few trees that are hung in other trees,
Mhm.
because they're dead trees.
right,
And they're getting caught by other trees, but if some of them come down, they're gonna reach my property.
understood. Okay, sir,
Yes, well, I had 2 trees fall on my place, that land that they own.
okay,
2 of them fell right on my place, and it cost me to have them taken away. And there's also a dead tree, and there's like 3 or 4 other trees that are just leaning.
and sir, can you just give us your name and where you live?
Daniel Burge, I live at Winbrook Acres.
Okay, all right,
And that waterway that runs off of 20, that comes down through, probably this wide, and all these trees, and water's right in the middle of all these trees. And they're all gonna just fall right over. Some are dead, and they're just round,
okay,
and others are leaning already over to my house.
all right, I understand. Any other comments?
I just want to,
Ma'am, your name?
He addressed everything, Barbara Kowalski, Winbrook Acres.
Okay,
Also, he addressed everything to the left of that property. What we're talking about is right on the right, on the borderline, Winbrook. And there is water that comes off the highway, from under the highway too, that goes down, that is rotting all those trees out.
Okay.
That are falling on us. They have looked at it with suggestions, but they haven't done anything.
okay.
So it sounds as though the mitigation isn't necessarily working.
Well, no, there's been no mitigation put forth at this point. So what's complaining, or what's their concerns that they have, are there's a culvert that goes underneath Route 20 right now from the other side, discharges almost in the backs of their property.
Okay.
And basically, here's the property line here. They mentioned the encroachment. The client is currently in litigation with the abutters here for the encroachment. As you can see, these are actually structures, residential dwellings, the trailers of the community, as well as their roadway here.
Is that pending in Worcester Superior Court?
I'm not sure of the status of that. I've not been privy to the lawsuit at this point, or how far it's gone, if they're still in negotiations or not.
I would be interested in getting a site to that. Do you have a site?
I think it's assigned to Land Court in Worcester.
Well, land court's in Boston, so it's either in Superior Court or it would be land court in Boston. I just,
We'd have to check.
if I had a docket number, I could take a look at it.
Yeah, I could ask
Okay.
and send
I'm
that
just
over.
curious to see where that
Yeah,
stands.
and so basically what we've done is we've stayed out of the area that's in question with
Okay.
our limits. And there is water coming on to the site from DOT in various roadways. We are picking it up and conveying it to appropriately sized swale
Okay.
and diverting it around the site. So that will help pick things up, but if it ultimately it's coming right onto their road, we have limited ability
I
on that.
understand.
You know, we're here to work with them, but at the end, you know,
Right. Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
May
ma'am.
I just make one more comment, please?
Sure.
Just, and I will say that this, at each board that I go to, and it's just a mindset change. And he just those are the trailers. Trailers are something that you pull behind your truck. call them a mobile home if you want, but these are our homes. And when you get a visual that it's a trailer, I think that, a different visual comes. So I just want to remind the applicant that these are our homes. They're not trailers, they're our homes. And we have real serious concerns about the water. When you fill that in, what happens to our humble homes? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? Yes, sir. Your name, please, and where you live?
Michael Dominic, and I live at Winthrop Acres also.
Okay,
When they first started this project,
okay.
I thought, well, I guess it has to be developed.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that developed was the beavers. We had a massive migration to our property,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know what happened to them. They were all of a sudden gone.
I know where the beavers were on that property,
Okay,
and I think there were probably a couple instances when they were removed.
okay, they have to be killed, right?
You know what?
That's what somebody told me.
I know, and in all honesty, I really don't know what they do with them. I would just as soon, send them to Worcester. I don't care.
Wow, hey,
And that's no disrespect to Worcester, by the way, but I hope they're not being killed, but I honestly don't know the answer to that.
because I did ask one of the people that were coming to clear the property
Uh-huh.
every periodically, and they did say they have to be killed.
Okay.
Because what it is, if they put it somewhere else,
They-
it's gonna create another problem.
Well, they
for
like to
someone else.
build dams, that's for sure, So,
So
okay.
I'm a little bit questioning what they're doing.
I don't know, but we can inquire. Yes, ma'am.
One more question, Barbara Blasi.
You promise?
Concerned about the amount of fill. We're down here, they're gonna bring it up here.
Well, ma'am, in terms of the elevation, I don't know how the elevation would affect or impact your home. I don't know the answer to that. That's one of the
That'll be
reasons
something
why
you look
we're
at.
gonna take a look at it.
Thank you.
Okay? All right. So I think it's agreed, we're gonna continue the public hearing to May 28th at 7:10 PM. Is there a motion to continue?
Move to continue 50 Washington Street until 7:10,
10th? Yes.
7:10 on May 28th.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Let's vote. All right, so we will see you in 2 weeks, and by all means, feel free to come back and we will take a look between now and then.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for coming.
All right, we got more?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you're spoiled. You're used
I
to
really
like
am.
half-hour meetings.
I know.
All right. All right, the next,
If you lucky next.
I got the sign sheet.
the next matter on our agenda is a 7:15 public hearing, Triton Storage LLC, a notice of intent for the construction of 2 self-storage buildings at 319 Washington Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right. Who's here for Triton?
I am Steve Fusco, Jim Horn.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
All right. So you guys are going great guns over there.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a couple of weeks, but yeah, they're going.
Through the chair, I have a copy of the plans here.
Yeah, I have a copy too.
We'll struggle with this one.
Okay. All right, so we've been to the site. How are your mitigation measures working?
They've been doing much better since prior to the meeting,
Okay,
the last meeting, so we haven't had any issues
Okay.
at all moving forward. Paul's been monitoring the issue of the runoff that was coming off when he was moving the fill.
Right.
Excellent. Off the site, so he's, like he said, he's not doing any work when it's raining. So
that's always good.
the number one thing. He's been checking on the straw wattle that we put over the Cape Waterway that's headed into the wetland off of Old Coney.
Okay.
And making sure that that's been maintained. So he's been on it. And I think also just, you know, they've been pumping the water and they've essentially built a leach field, you know, and gone above and beyond in order to infiltrate everything. So it's been holding up really well.
Okay.
By there all the time.
In terms of your construction sequence, are you still excavating material?
I believe that most of it is gone. I'm sure there's still some. They're working in phases.
Right.
And most of it's rock at this point on the other side.
Right, and in the back too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't believe that there's really much more soil
Mhm.
that'll be leaving.
All right.
The rock is leaving.
Gentlemen, have you been out to the site?
I haven't been.
Okay. Ricky, have you been out?
I've driven by, but I haven't been physically on site.
Okay. As you know, since you've been here, we like to always take a look. Now, I've been out there, but I think it might benefit the other commissioners if we also can just walk the site. So, you know, it's like a broken record, I guess, but with your permission, we continue the public hearing for 2 weeks. Give us a chance to go out there, just eyeball it more closely. If that's agreeable to you?
Yeah, it is. I just want to see if they're going to go so far there. But it's good. 28th?
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Is there a motion to continue?
Move to continue the Triton storage to 7:15 on the.
All right. Before we do that, is there any other comment from the public on this? There being none, Michelle's made a motion to continue the public hearing to May 28th at 7:15. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in
Sorry, just a quick question. What are the big yellow things that look like big yellow dog houses? I don't know how to describe them that are on the property.
Those are the ADS underground infiltration stormwater chambers.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Did I hear a second, Megan?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
second.
okay,
Mark gave the
okay,
second.
all right,
We were
good,
taking a
good.
vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Opposed? It's a vote. All right. We will go out there and we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Thank you, Mr. Fusco.
He still gets to work on that.
What's that?
He still gets to work on that, right?
Yeah. And then the next hearing on our agenda is a 7:20 public hearing. Michael Marinus of Insight Engineering, a notice of intent for property 4749 Rockland Road. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right. I think Mr. Marinus is going to join us remotely. Is that right? I see him there.
Yep.
Mr. Marinus, can you turn on your mic, please? Oh, and now he's gone.
You scared him?
I hope not. Really? You think I scared him? Well, he was there. Maybe he's going to dial in again? There he is. Mr. Marinus, are you there? Oh, maybe not.
I'm assuming he's clicking the wrong button.
Could be.
Maybe just coming to the meeting would have been easier.
I think he's based in Connecticut. But you're right, it would have been easier. All right, Mr. Marinus, can you please join us?
There we go.
Okay, are you, sir, sir,
there
you
you
there? Keeps muting though. Can you unmute your microphone? There you are.
Yep. Sorry, I was on and then I got lost. Apologize.
Are you in your car?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good.
I'm actually on vacation, but doing everything I can to attend today's hearing.
Well, sir, I appreciate your efforts, and I hope you're somewhere nice.
Pennsylvania, it's great.
Poconos?
King of Prussia area, Philly area.
Oh, very nice, very nice. All right, in any event, enough small talk.
So sorry about that. Last time we met, since the last time we met, I did have to submit a revised site plan, which is hopefully in front of you. I sent copies to everybody, or sent copies to Tom,
Right.
so he can look at the latest. And I'm happy to go through it if you'd like. But what I recall was the open item last time was how we were going to treat the entrance road.
Well, that's it. And I think you know, Ms. Williamson is of the opinion that it needs to be paved. And
Yes,
and
Yep.
it seems to me that if it is paved, or if it needs to be paved, then we have to talk about detention basin somewhere on the property. So I don't know what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah, what my understanding is that she's requiring us to pave the road, which is not a problem, and I've spoken to the owner, and they're agreeable to that. And what we need to do is recreate the same volume of fill that we are going to be adding. So, based upon a preliminary calculation, we're at about I think it was about 1,000 cubic yards of fill in order to pave that road. And what I will be proposing to do is add some more stormwater detention, actually within that road bed, consisting of approximately 10 stormwater chambers within the road.
Okay.
And I'm preparing plans right now. I expect we have a meeting with the planning board, I think in 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to have revised plans within the next couple of days.
Okay. Okay.
But everything should be the same. The latest set that you should have received the other day, they're dated 4/1/25.
Yes.
The town engineer did ask me to expand the system that we currently have up on top in the parking area, and that's been done. We did have to modify some of the catch basin details, and that's been done. So I'm hopeful that the next set of plans will be the last, and that the change that you will see will be the addition of detention in the road bed of the entrance road and paving the entrance road.
Okay. All right. Any comments from the board?
No comment.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? Sir?
Yeah, Rick Stout, 29 Rockland Road.
Yes, sir.
If we was talking about what about all the work they did prior?
All right. Well, can you be more specific, please?
Well, when they were in there with the excavator to open up the parking lot, facing Rockland Road,
Mm-hmm.
from the back of the building,
Right.
and took down all the trees and leveled, and did all the work down within the water.
Well, so just to clarify, our jurisdiction is within 100 feet of the brook area.
Right.
I mean, we've been out to the site several times. My memory is that we issued an enforcement order on the property. So we did, once we were notified of that, we did issue an enforcement order.
But they were already done.
Well, sir, the problem is that, we are reactive. I wish we were more proactive, but we're not really environmental cops. I wish we were. But when we are told of a violation of our bylaw or the Wetlands Protection Act, we do respond. And my memory is that we responded in that particular case. My memory is that there was mitigation, or that they did take corrective measures. I don't know if that answers your question, but we did respond at that time.
I can add to that if you'd like.
Please.
So since the initial design was submitted, there was a lot of back and forth between myself and the town engineer, and she did require us to expand the system in order to account for areas that she felt had been cleared. So the system that's currently before you is larger than what was initially presented. When I speak about system, I'm talking about the drainage detention system.
Okay. Any other questions? Sir, name and address, please.
John Capuano, Rice Road, Auburn, Mass.
Yes, sir.
How wide is this driveway going to be?
The driveway is not going to get any wider than it currently is. It's currently paved with gravel, and we're proposing to add 1 inch of surface course to the existing pavement. So it's not going to get any wider than it already is. It's approximately 20 feet at its widest.
So if you have one truck coming down the road and one truck going up the road, and it's a 500-foot driveway, what do you do then? How do you get
The road is wide enough for 2 trucks to pass.
does, will the road that's paved to be wide enough for 2 trucks to pass without going off the pavement?
Yes. We're not changing the dimensions of the existing gravel road. We're just paving it, and it is currently wide enough.
May not be wide enough in all spots, that's what I'm saying to you.
So, to your point, I would hope that, the drivers are using common sense when it comes to driving on that road. And the whole purpose of paving the road is to prevent washouts into the brook. As you can imagine, if there's a bad storm event, and there's a washout from that unpaved road, it would affect the brook. The whole idea in paving the road is to prevent that. But as a result, because there's going to be more impervious area created, there has to be, or measures need to be taken to make sure that there's no issue with degraded water quality. And we want to make sure that the brook is not adversely impacted by the paving of the road. And so what Mr. Marinus is indicating is that there will be another plan to be submitted, which is why this is not going to be the last hearing, unfortunately. And then once we see the plan, we have the option. It's going to be reviewed by the town engineering department. We have the option, if we choose, to have it reviewed by our own consultant, and we'll go from there. So I mean, our goal is to make sure that the wetland and the brook in that area is not degraded. That's what we do. That's our job. So that's what we will do once we get the final plan for this, which will hopefully be in the next week or so, right? Sir?
Yes, that's correct. I just want to clarify that your consultant has reviewed the plans that's currently in front of you and has approved it. The only open item was how we're going to treat the entrance road, and your town engineer, Emma Williamson, we had some back and forth with her about the best ways to stabilize the road,
Right.
and she recently determined that the best way to do it is to pave it. We're happy to do that, but that's the only open item that I'm aware of, and you will receive revised plans. The planning board will receive revised plans within the next week. We do have a meeting with the planning board, I believe, in 2 weeks. And yes, we understand that we have to come back one more time.
All right.
Hopefully, one more time.
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
How is the snow removal going to work? Like, is there gonna be any berms, or is it just gonna be kind of pushed down the side? Is it gonna be?
There are buffer areas around the entire perimeter that we can put snow.
And we'll make that a condition anyway.
Okay.
So, okay. Sir?
I still have some questions.
All right, go ahead.
An 18-wheel truck that's going up that gravel road now, those trucks can weigh 80,000 pounds, fully loaded, gross vehicle weight, 80,000 pounds. On the same token, if you take a ride to Hillside Cemetery, the roads in Hillside Cemetery, those are paved. But if you look closely, all the traffic rides off the pavement onto the grass area, and there are ruts and gullies, and that affects the quality of the road. Now, when you got an 80,000 pound truck up there, and he is saying they can pass side by side in a 20-foot span, I doubt it. But that's what he's saying. With the mirrors and everything else, I doubt it. So sometimes, probably every time, if they're gonna be passing each other, or a truck and a car passing each other, someone's gonna drive off the pavement. And that's gonna cause a rut and a gully. And that means water's gonna collect there on either side of the road, whether it's on the residence side or on the brook side. It's gonna be gullies there. And in the wintertime, that's gonna raise the road up, create frost heaves and potholes. So if you're gonna put a road in, it's gonna be able to handle 80,000-pound trucks. Even though they say, well, our trucks don't weigh that much. An 18-wheel truck, gross vehicle weight can be 80,000 pounds by law. So they can have a truck weighing that much.
I'm feeling you. I wish that they would put it like down a road on my road, because I have 80,000-pound trucks coming up my road every day, and nobody's doing anything about my road either.
Well, then you should talk about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, then you should talk
I
about it.
live on a private street though, and nobody's doing anything about
Okay,
that.
so-
Yeah, I'm bumming. Yeah, I get you.
And this is a driveway.
I know.
This is a driveway.
Are you suggesting that the road should be widened?
I'm suggesting the road should be at 25 feet minimum.
Okay.
25 feet minimum. And I'm suggesting that there should be some sort of berms on both sides of the road so that the traffic can't roll over onto off the pavement.
Okay.
That's what I'm suggesting.
I appreciate that, thank you.
And what else? Oh, I got a whole bunch of things, but that's about the road.
Okay, all right, thank you. Is there, yes, sir?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you know if they have gotten anything from the DEP yet?
I don't think we've got any comments from DEP, have we? Recently?
Not recently, nope.
No, so, but we will get comments from them. So, I mean, DEP, it does,
Have they filed? I don't think they've been filed.
no, they have filed with the DEP. There was an issue initially with that, but DEP has, they issued a file number for this, so they do have this filing, sir. Thank you. All right. Any other comments?
I just have one more.
Are you sure? I'm just kidding. Go ahead, sir. Okay, go ahead.
You know, if you look at the town of Auburn map, that may be up there, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh,
Map number 17.
right.
You will see that that property had 2 brooks going through it, not one.
Okay.
And it's still on the map. And someone filled in one of those brooks where their parking lot is right now.
So I know there was a wet area at the toe of the slope, more towards Rockland Road. I don't know the age of,
I'm not talking about.
I understand that. You have to let me finish.
Sorry.
All right. So I don't know the age of the map that you're referring to. I don't know who filled it in. If I had more information concerning that, I could probably respond to you more intelligently. You know, so I don't know if there. I take you at your word that the map shows 2 brooks. I don't know when that map was drawn or developed.
Well-
And I can tell you, I've been on the board for 30 years, and I can't recall anyone ever telling us or complaining about a brook, the brook being filled in at that property. So I'm not sure when that happened. That's all I'm saying to you. Go ahead.
I have a photograph showing both brooks that was taken by someone in the town many, many years ago.
How many years ago?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Okay. I mean, respectfully, I think it's no longer an issue for us.
Perfect.
Okay, but I'm just saying, but I appreciate the information, I do. Sir, you have a comment? Guy in the blue shirt?
No.
Okay, all right.
Who's talking to you? No comment now.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, so with the applicant, Megan, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Marinus, how thick did you say the pavement would be again?
20 feet.
It's 20.
We have not submitted anything yet, but we're going to propose a 1-inch top course. We're trying to keep the impact to the wetlands as little as possible, but 1 inch is what I'm proposing.
Okay. All right. The applicant has agreed to continue the public hearing to 5:28 at 5:20. Is there a motion?
Move to close the hearing. Or, no,
No,
sorry.
no.
Sorry. Move to
Continue
continue it until May 28th
at 7:20?
at 7:20.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right. Mr. Marinus, thank you for joining us from your vacation. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And
Thank you for your time.
we will continue. So thank you, gentlemen, for your comments. So that concludes the public hearings, but we have an enforcement order that we need to address. Pass this around, Michelle. Just, I'm going to send it to Troy. Are you gentlemen here for 432 Mestre Street?
Yes, got us right. Yeah, come on up here.
Can you sign that, please? So, gentlemen, looks like you started work without notifying us.
So,
One at a time, please.
all right.
And who are you?
I'm Giannis. I'm the one on the,
Mr. Palazzis?
Giannis Palazzis, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Palazzis, tell us what's going on here.
So as far as work being started, are we talking about the physical property or the building itself?
I'm talking about you needing to notify us before you do any work, if there
So-
are wetlands involved.
So as far as us doing any physical work, we donated the building to the fire department.
Okay.
So on the actual structure itself, any holes or siding that got taken apart was from the fire department. That's not from us.
Okay.
I came into the town and I got a list for what we have to present for us to move forward with a demo permit, which we've been working on, and I have I think there's like 2 things left on the list
All right.
for us to actually continue with the demo of the building. But as far as work being done, we haven't physically touched anything structurally into the building.
Okay. Well, I think but your intention is to build there, right?
My intention is to demo the whole thing,
Right.
level it,
Okay.
collapse the septic, and then once it's all flattened out, get the site survey and come up with a set of plans to present to you guys.
Okay.
So it's one thing at a time. I want to demo it. Right now, our plan is to just demo the whole whatever structure is there right now, just flatten it.
Okay. Do you know how close you are to the wetlands?
I believe it's right at 100 feet.
Okay, so you're right, basically on the edge.
Right.
Okay, all right. When do you think your demo is going to be done?
I think right now there's 2 things left on the list. So there's a little bit of asbestos that we found, which I'm getting removed with the asbestos guy right now.
Okay.
So I got to cross that off the list, and then collapse the septic, and then everything else is off the list. So the guy is working on the asbestos permit right now. So I want to say hopefully within 2 to 3 weeks, I can present that demo permit for us to physically collapse and get dry, flat land so we can start fresh.
Okay.
How close is the septic to the wetland?
The septic is in the front of the property.
Okay,
It's
all
right next to the road, so it's nowhere near the wetland in the back.
And then-
Which we had to find because there was no records of the town.
It might even be more of a cesspool than a septic too, for that matter. But
Yeah.
and when do you think you would be actually doing excavation work to? You're going to put a house in there.
Right, a single family.
When do you think that's going to be?
That will probably, so after it's, hopefully within 2 months.
Okay.
2 months,
So,
realistically.
so we can expect a filing from you, or some kind of filing from you, probably by July?
Yes.
maybe August?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Hopefully by July. I'm trying to, so as soon as it's flat, I'm trying to, everything kind of takes time, so.
I understand.
Hopefully July,
Okay,
August the latest. So.
all right.
So through the chair, I
Sure.
just want to explain. So Giannis was nice enough. He did come to town hall right after he purchased the land, and I gave him all the information. He wasn't planning on doing anything, knocking the building down. And then what happened was, after we went up the road there
Yeah,
on that site visit.
Yes.
And there was
We
just a
actually saw
trailer
it.
park there, right?
yes.
So we received a phone call, of course, from somebody, a neighbor, don't know who, went to the site, took some pictures, and there was some site work done, there was some rocks piled up, and the person said, oh, it looks like they knocked like wetland flags down or something. Now there was like some blue tape in there, but no,
Okay,
there was a little bit of site work done. The building, like this gentleman said, they use it for the fire department. That's what Gary Allard and Mike told me, the two town inspectors, fire department. So I issued the enforcement order just because there was some land disturbance. But he was aware, that he's going to be coming through, and I think he made his best effort. I think he just did a little more site work than he knew to do.
Right.
okay, all right.
Which it was all overgrowth before, so we had to, I'm using it to like, I have a trailer, one of my trailers there right now, so.
Okay,
So I'm just using
all right.
it to store stuff for now until it collapses.
Any comments? Any comments? Megan? Ricky?
Yeah, and Tom may have said this, but my audio went out.
Okay,
The picture I'm looking at, it's like 432. It's a number 3 picture, and
Yes, I
it's
see it.
like loose. It's just like bare soil and rocks. So how close is that area right there to the wetland?
I think you said 100 feet, right?
Is it right at the house? It's right at the house.
Number 3?
Yeah, that's nowhere near that's right by the property.
Yeah.
Right. Right. The streams, yeah.
In the back.
Yeah.
Got it.
I walked it because we've been getting crazy rain lately. It had it's wicked deep. It hasn't even risen anything like that onto
Okay.
the property. So
Oh, good.
we're in good shape.
All righty.
Okay.
Megan, any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. Is there any comment from the public? In that case, all right, gentlemen, thank you for coming in, and when you're ready to to build your house, or when you have your plans ready, make sure you file with us.
Right.
Okay?
For sure.
All right. You're all set.
Sweet. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, honestly.
Good night.
So, would anyone like to make a motion to vacate the enforcement order?
Yeah, I make a motion to vacate the enforcement order for 432 Lester Street.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
It's a vote. All right. And then I think the last item, we got a notification from National Grid. They're doing utility maintenance behind the fire department headquarters on Auburn Street.
Through the chair, I think it's just one pole. It's actually, within that 100-foot buffer zone. I think the other one is outside of it, yeah.
Okay,
So it's just basically one pole.
very good. I think that's it.
And then
Oh, yes, and then so we've been contacted, we received some communication from, what's Travis's last name, is it Brown?
Travis Brown, yep.
Travis Brown from Turning Point regarding Ashworth Hills, which has been kind of in the works for well over 10 years. And so there's been no filing with us, but they probably want to take a bunch of soil from Oxford and deposit it in Auburn. And, there are wetlands on that site. I think I saw one email where he talked about any contributions being no more than, no less than 50 feet away from the wetland, but it doesn't matter because it triggers jurisdiction for us. So, I think he was, I was exploratory. I think the email was to try to get a sense of what our thought was on this. We don't do advisory opinions, and I think he certainly knows better. He knows that if they want to propose that type of fill, that he has to file at a minimum notice of, request for determination of applicability. So we'll see what happens with that.
No, but maybe we should put them in touch with Zero Cemetery Road, they could use some.
Perhaps. I'm not sure that's our job.
But,
Okay.
but they're looking for some, and it's better than them getting really crappy stuff.
It's not a bad idea.
It's true.
That's brilliant.
I know, I'm a problem solver.
Well, thank you for that. Is there any new business that we
There's
haven't
through the
discussed?
chair.
Yes.
I brought in a couple of things tonight from after I delivered the packets. Got the National Grid letter I received from Solitude Lake Management. They're looking to go to Leesville and Pondville, visit them and observe conditions.
To de-weed?
Excuse me?
To de-weed?
To de-weed, yes,
they have-
possibly.
do they
They
have
might
money?
conduct a treatment if needed.
Do they have money for that?
That I don't know. I'm assuming they do because they probably want to get paid.
Yeah.
But I have not been made aware of anything as far as from, I don't know who normally handles that, if it's DPW.
Okay.
So it says, according to the email, that the specialists will conduct the treatment as needed based on observations. If the conditions require any additional information, one of our project managers will be in touch before any treatments are conducted.
Well, that's great. Okay.
But nothing as far as payments, money, anything, I'm not aware of. I'm assuming that, as I recall, being a member of this board a while back, that we were told we had to cut our budget, so we stopped de-weeding, and it went to town vote, and they came up with money to do-weed anyways.
Right.
So,
Oh, that
I'm
was a
not
long
sure.
time ago.
Yeah, it was, that was, wow, 2012,
It was a while ago.
at least.
I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think, just because we know the weeds can be a real problem and they, degrade the water resource. So I'm in favor of de-weeding if there are
Me
funds
too.
available for it.
Maybe we could get Stoneville in there someday.
Maybe we can.
Yeah.
Okay. If there is no other business,
One other thing, we got our monthly report from Mr. Quinn,
I saw that.
3 Commerce Way.
Okay.
Because of the rain, it wasn't suitable to go in and try to do some more seeding and that, so he's recommending as soon as advisable, stabilized ground surfaces will be loamed and seeded and a stand of grass established. The soil must dry out before any activities can take place. So that's on the radar, as well as, what's his name, Mike Loring from Loring Construction, who's a site guy there.
Okay.
So that last area across from the road of that building on 3 Commerce is the only area we're talking about, the one that we walked a few weeks back there.
Right.
Yeah, they know that once that gets stabilized, we're gonna go out, the board will do a final inspection,
Okay. Very good.
and that's all I got.
What about site visits, Mike?
Well, what about site visits? Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. Hi.
Just like to introduce myself, I was here with Wimbrook Acres for the 50 Washington Street. I'm one of the directors, and I've been on before, and then been reissued into the directorship. I let my neighbors say what they needed to say, and they answered all my questions that I had. I'm the secretary to the Conservation Commission in the town of Sutton for 25 years.
Good for you.
So I've enjoyed listening to you all because when I'm at my meetings, I can't hear anybody but one person who's speaking. Taking notes for my board is nuts.
Well-
I've really enjoyed listening to you all.
So,
I spoke with you on the phone there for the chair. What's your name again? I just want to put it down for the meeting minutes.
Wanda Bean. And I never did get to sign your
Well, let me have you sign it.
But I've never had the opportunity to sit in a conservation meeting, and this was like I've been to different ones, because I work very closely with the town planner, board of health, and the building department, so this was quite fun.
Oh, good,
Well,
I'm glad.
I hope we didn't disappoint you.
I know, exactly.
I don't think I've ever heard a Conservation Commission meeting sound called fun.
Right, exactly, right, yeah.
So, Actually, I'm sort of glad you're here. Can you, what's the status of the litigation between the,
That's what I called, I came to see the town planner on because, when I was released from, I can only be on board for 2 sessions.
Uh-huh.
And I was released from, I had to take a year off, so I come back, so I wanted to bring back some information. They have not filed with the planning board yet. And I spoke to my planner today and said, what's the procedure? Is it? She said, oh, it's kind of a long procedure, and she said, it's possible. So they have to go through state government or something, some kind of legal stuff before they can change the lot lines. But that was my concern too, was lot lines, but that's not really a conservation issue.
no, it's not, but I'm still interested. I mean, as you heard from the people that own units there, they obviously feel that there's an impact, a wetland impact, or a potential wetland impact from.
My apologies. Is it possible for her to get closer to the table?
Oh, sure. Can you
We
come on
can't
up,
hear
please?
you.
He can't hear you.
I'm not used to not having a mic.
Okay.
No, that's why I came in to check with the planning to see if they had done anything, because when I was released from the board, that, I didn't hear anymore because I wasn't on board anymore.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to find out if they had done anything, but they said, no, they've been waiting for the paperwork, and nothing's been issued.
Well, I mean,
So, through the chair,
yes.
when I got these plans, the first thing I did is walk into Adam and to say, Adam, I noticed that there's, looks like a couple of mobile homes on this property.
Yeah.
And he had said that there's something, yeah, he
There's
wasn't sure
3.
what was going on, yeah.
There's 3 of them.
But I was like, well, all right, that's gonna be something that's gonna be addressed, I'm sure.
Yeah, because if they, okay, so Eastern Partners is a developer, they're gonna
Right.
go away. If he sells this property, we're still gonna have the same problem.
Well, I think the intention is they're, as you know, they're developing that whole industrial park.
Yeah.
And they're selling off individual parcels. So I think your point's well taken. Do you know the legal name of the mobile home development that has filed suit against them? Because I want to see if I can find the
I
case.
wonder if it's, I don't know.
All right, maybe not.
Wimbrook Acres 4.
Okay.
I don't know if they did not, to see, like, I've been out of the loop, so
Okay, I'll see if I can find it.
I have enough to do in my office.
I understand.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
My agenda makes yours look like a party.
Okay. Well,
But it's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
yeah,
This was a
you
hard
too.
one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. I can see the look on your face.
Yeah.
Is there a
been a long
motion
day.
to adjourn, please?
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Hi.
All right, it's a vote. All right, everyone, thank you very much. In terms of.
Bye.
Thank you.